Okay, we're back. And basically I have taken my blue violet and my yellow and made a neutral, which made a soft green that you can see all in here. And I'm just dropping that in. Very wet, so there aren't any harsh lines. And I am going petal by petal, so it doesn't get ahead of me. And then down here, I'm seeing a lot of very orange, middle tone yellows in here. And we need to lighten off this edge. We'll lift that back in a bit so that we have the softer oranges. And for the same way that we neutralize the yellows with a little bit of the violet, we need to go in here and just highlight this darker areas a little bit. And just softening everything, keeping everything really soft, especially for these initial washes. And if I wanted a little more orange, I could either make an orange or I could take an orange like this. This is Chinese orange. But if I knock it back with a little bit of my yellow, let's see what that does. It's a little too orange. But down in here, I'm sorry, I am losing my voice. And so we're going to soften this in just a minute. Right now I'm just putting in some patterns that I see here. It's the wrinkles and the beautiful texture that makes this flower so incredibly beautiful. So we're kind of dragging that up into this other petal there. And if you want to soften that even more, you could mist it. Remember, that always softens things. Maybe a little too much. So with a painting like this, we're always knocking back our colors and making them softer by neutralizing them with their complement. That's a little too wet up in there. Was a little, yeah, this right here, I want to emphasize that little area right there. Yeah, that's better. Got a few little dark places in here. Okay, liking that better. And I'm not probably going to put in all the darks that are in here. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. So right now, let's push a little of this orange here and take it up in here along this edge where that curves right there. And feed it up into here. That. Maybe a little bit more right in there. And really with flowers, you can be as detailed as you would like. You don't really have to do all this detail unless you want to. I'm a detail person, so I like detail. I like to mingle all these colors together. So everywhere where I see the orange, I'll put it in. And then I'll go back over it and soften it with the yellow. Okay, I'm seeing a very purple. That be that, and that's masked, so we can't do that right now. All right, so I think we'll drop in some yellows in here. That's going to be a little bit of that green mixture because that's a shadow. So we want it to read as a shadow. So anytime you have a shadowed area, if you make it with your neutrals, it'll be very believable as a shadow. And that's why the neutrals are so important, because you can push things like that back. We're going to brighten this in a bit. And we're going to soften these edges. We'll go back and soften all these hard edges. Right now I'm just trying to get the tones we're looking for in here so that these read as ruffles. You can see some are darker. And then we're going to keep a wet edge there and let this softly merge with that. See, it's a very soft mingling that goes on here with these colors. And then we've got the violet in here. It comes on down here around this little, whatever that is there. And here. And a little bit of the neutral in here. And in here a little bit, making that transition. Just looking for your overall shapes here. All right, let's soften that edge. All right, let's drop in our yellow. And that's going to be a fairly bright yellow right on the edge here. And yellow is never, well, there is a transparent yellow, but it's very rare that you can find a transparent yellow. So most yellows are slightly opaque to very opaque. So we have to keep that in mind when we're figuring out our colors. Then we just want this brighter, sunnier look. Gives a luminosity to the leaves. Okay. And we'll make that a little more complex as we go along, adding a little different oranges here and there, just to give some definition here. And soften that back. Yes, you can use your finger. It's a great tool. Mostly I'm just trying to soften these pencil lines with a color. All right, so once those petals started, soften this edge. It's actually rolling a little bit, so we can soften that edge there. All right, and then we have some coming in here. Okay. All right. Now, same deal with this petal. It's probably easier to start from the yellow and move inward than it is to start and move outward. So I think we'll start with the yellow on the edge, and we'll go right along here, because that is a lighter edge. And then we'll drop some of those darks in as we go. Just following the edge of the petal. Soften all of this so we don't have such hard edges. And we've got some very interesting things going on in here, so I'm going to leave that alone. And you can see we're transitioning into the neutral here. So, and they're all where you see all these shadows, that's where the undulations in the petals are. And so we'll have to work on those. And there's a lot of yellow. We'll drop those greens in a minute. Let's get a little bit more lemon Naples yellow for this edge right here, which is so very soft. And comes down here. Dilute that because it is opaque. So if you wash it out, it will be softer. All right. Going back into the blue, which should give us some of that green when it works together. I think I'll go ahead and turn the corner down here. Let's soften that so we don't have hard edges there. This is all blue all the way in on this particular petal, so we'll go right along there with the darker blue, blue-violet rather. And then we're coming in up here with the shape of the petal. Go ahead and drop that blue in there, and we'll get some more magenta in there in just a minute. I don't want this edge so soft, so harsh. Like that. Actually, I could even make it softer by just spritzing it. Then go into our violet and bring it right down in here. All right. Put a little more shadow underneath this petal right here. That's coming around here. Like that. Okay. So we've pretty much got everything laid in.